Let me guess. You took piano lessons as a kid and you quit. And now as an adult, you regret it. This is a story that I hear all the time, repeatedly, from so many people. And it's actually my story as well. I started piano lessons when I was 4 years old and I quit around 7th or 8th grade. I was like, I'm done. I've had it. I don't want to do this anymore. So this is a really common story, and I'm going to go over why this happens to us and how you can restart your piano journey, because clearly you clicked on this video because you're interested in picking it back up. Something in music is calling you and saying, hey, there's something to discover here still. I still have a passion and a joy for this that I never got to fully understand or tap into. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm going to explain to you why you quit and how you can go about piano now as an adult, as a sound person that has a relationship with music and actually wants to commit beyond your parents forcing you to do it and whatnot. Piano has been historically introduced to the world as a sight-reading instrument, meaning learning how to read on the grand staff has taken the highest priority. This is a beautiful art form. This is how I was raised, and I was learning how to read since I was 4. Now, this is great if you are passionate about classical music and your goal is to become a classical pianist. However, genres are galaxies. This is what I teach my clients and my students, because there are so many different styles of music in the world, right? And when you approach every genre in the same way, you are not considering the cultural elements of that style of music, right? Music comes from a certain era, demographic, geographical location, and these elements cannot be ignored, and it should change your approach on how you teach and experience this style of music. So if you love rock, you're better off focusing on power chords and rhythmic patterns. If you love jazz, you most definitely want to learn how to improvise and work on harmony and chord theory. If you love pop, Hot 100, there are patterns, chord progressions, song structure that repeat throughout multiple songs across the board, which makes it way faster and way easier to learn. So these things are not prioritized because in traditional music education, the highest priority was learning how to read on the grand staff. And while I am so grateful for my ability and my experiences with that, I understand that there are other elements of music education that have gotten left behind, which is why I'm making this video and which is why I'm so passionate about the things that I teach. Genres are galaxies. When you are working on a certain style of music, I want you to think of changing your approach based on that genre. Another super important part of learning piano and understanding music is knowing that it's actually an alphabet. Music is an alphabet. Well, it's also a language, right? That has an alphabet. It's a language that has an alphabet, and that goes beyond just note positions on the grand staff. It's a language of sounds that have names. They have names. It was a rude awakening for me to find this out, like 20 years down the line. After like 20 years of private piano lessons and musical education, I was like, wait, what? What's a diminished chord? I didn't even know that that existed, right? So I like to introduce this to my students from the very beginning, from day one. I call it the sound palette, which is actually called the circle of fifths in the world of music. And I call it the sound palette because it's a way more creative way of understanding the language, the alphabet of music. What kind of sounds exist? What are they called? How can I create those sounds? How are they related? And when I combine different things, what does that sound like? How does that make me feel? This is not accurately expressed in a way where people are curious and people are excited to learn. And that needs to change, because that is what prevents people from actually walking through that door of creativity and joy and connection. Which brings me to my third point: connection matters. I'm a firm believer that music is supposed to go with life. Now, there's going to be times when you just don't feel like doing certain things. You don't want to put in the reps or the time. There are songs that are not as interesting to you, or your teacher wants you to do drills and exercises and repetition where you're just like, I'm over it. I don't really feel like doing this. If you have a show, if you have an audition, if you've got goals and projects, you've got to just buckle down and put in the work. But I'm talking about the exploration process. I'm talking about the learning process. There has to be connection in that learning process most of the time, not every time. It's not going to be fun every single second that you're sitting in front of the piano. We're so overstimulated nowadays, and we have such short attention spans that we think that everything needs to just be like flashing lights and exciting all the time. That's not the case, right? This is a slow burn, but it's something that will be here for you. Music will be here for you. Your creative expression will be here for you. Your relationship with your art will be here for you till the end of time. It's something that nobody can ever take away from you. And it needs to be introduced that way, because connection matters. If you're feeling terrible that day, I promise you there is a song out there that accurately reflects how you feel. Whatever you're going through in life, I promise you there is a song out there that accurately expresses how you feel. And so when connection is prioritized, that is when you really tap into the magic. And a lot of times we're so focused on academia, so focused on egoic achievement, that we bypass connection entirely. And we explain things as educators. I'm speaking from an educator's standpoint, right? As educators, we focus on the academia and the achievement, and the connection gets left behind. So I really want to encourage that you prioritize connection, your connection with your craft, your connection with the moment, with the song. Because oftentimes we take the art out of arts education because it's too vulnerable, right? A lot of times the things that have inspired the greatest songs are some really sad stories or some really messed up situations. But we can't take the art out of arts education and expect people to walk away with an understanding of art. These are the reasons why you quit piano. And this is why I'm so passionate about changing the landscape of piano and arts and music education. I've created a free guide for anyone that wants to get started or restarted with their piano journey in this light. It's called Play Piano by Ear, and you can get a free copy by clicking on the link in the description box below. In this guide, I go through my top 3 exercises that I've been teaching all of my piano students since 2013. It's designed to go with the tutorials that exist on this channel so you can get started for free. I'm looking forward to hearing how things are going for you in the comments. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.